Live from Dark BC Studios in Eddyville, Kentucky. It's time for another episode of the Evolution of Survivor Strategy. This week we're talking about Survivor Pearl Island, the 7th season of the Survivor installment, where we're introducing really interesting characters and in the live with my dad grandpa, your host, Darky. Hello, Easy Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Evolution of Survivor Strategy. This is Chapter 7, and I am titling this episode Blindsides, Outcast, and a Dead Grandma. Alright, so Survivor Pearl Islands. This is one of the seasons I remember most. And I really have to say, this is the first season I remember watching, really. I remember a lot of the events that happened. There were some events I was a little foggy on, because, it's been so many years since I've seen Pearl Islands. Because I believe I only saw Pearl Islands the one time, and that was when I was watching it week to week to week. But this was the season, really, where I started watching it every week. And there were, I remember, Andrew Savage was always one of my favorite Survivor players. He was just the one I remember. I was like, man, he really got screwed. I'll get back to that in a minute. And then, characters like Johnny Fairplay and Rupert and Sandra. I love Pearl Islands, so let's get right to it. So this season, it starts off, they're going off, they basically tell them, what clothes you're wearing on your back is the clothes you're going to be wearing for the next 39 days. Very interesting twist to start it off with. And the two tribes are divided into the Drake and Morgan tribes. And so the first 3 episodes, the first, 3 tribal councils, it's really Drake. I mean, Drake probably, if they hadn't thrown that one challenge, they probably would have been the most dominant tribe in Survivor history. And it would have been a very different merge, really, if Drakes were going in, maybe, let's say they lost, one challenge or something, and maybe they do beat the Drake and the Morgans for the Outcast, if they decided to do the Outcast twist at the time. I'm pretty sure they were. So, but basically 3 episodes in, the Morgan tribe's getting decimated. They really are they are the true underdogs. And it was cool seeing Andrew Savage playing the game, because, his leadership, getting the team together to go off in a certain direction. And he's really he's really the most dominant player on that tribe, and able to keep that side together was very interesting. But he makes one crucial mistake. He doesn't tell Lil she's going home, and that will come back to bite him. Get back to that. So the next episode, then we get to the Morgan Drake tribe, and they're like, God, we're sick of some of these people. We need to throw a challenge. We need to throw a challenge just so we can get rid of somebody. And so the Drakes, they go to the tribal camp. The Drakes, they throw the challenge. Rupert gets kidnapped, which kind of brings life back into the Morgan tribe. And they decide to get rid of Burton, which was probably a big mistake. They probably should have gone after someone like a Michelle or even a Trish or somebody like that, because after they throw that challenge, the Drake tribe falls apart. They absolutely fall apart, and you could probably even say that the Morgan tribe probably would have won another immunity if they had done another challenge. But yeah, the Drake tribe really fell apart, and it's just, it's never smart to throw a challenge. If we remember back in Survivor Thailand, and I was watching the reunion show at Survivor Thailand, Sheehan revealed that their tribe threw the challenge just to get rid of that one guy, and after they threw that challenge, that tribe fell apart just as well. So it's not a smart move to ever throw a challenge. It really isn't. Especially in Classic Survivor, it's just a bad idea. Alright, so then we move on. So we're going through the season. Basically, there's some interesting characters. Like, Burton was such a cool character. So they bring in this twist called the Outcast twist. This is the first twist where someone who's been voted out has a chance to come back in the game and find redemption and kind of get themselves back to the game. The way they did the Outcast twist was basically they become their own individual tribe, and basically they compete with the other 2 tribes. If the Outcasts win the immunity, or if as long as they beat one of the tribes, somebody comes back in the game. Now, I believe Probst is on record for saying that the Outcast twist is one of the worst twists they've ever done, because the Outcast twist definitely screwed somebody like Andrew Savage, who was playing a very good game, and he kind of got screwed by the twist at the time. So that was very unfortunate for him. But basically, Lil and Burton come back into the game, and Lil ditches the Morgans and sides with the Drakes because they're being nicer to her, and she knows where she stands with the Morgans, and she knows she's not going to make it to the end of the game. And she and Burton have made this tight alliance. And, Rupert really probably should have swing more toward the Morgan side, because what happens to him in a few episodes is very interesting. So we're at the merge and everything, and I'm just going to skip to Final 8, and it's the infamous Rupert Blindside, one of the great Survivor Blindsides of all time. And, Rupert, he was bringing in the fish, he was very popular, he was winning the challenges, probably could have won the whole game. And Burton basically looks at Johnny Fairplay, who basically says, if we have any shot of winning this game, we have to take out Rupert. And they completely blindside. And this season, Rupert was playing a good game. He was doing what Richard Hatch was doing his first season, becoming the provider, help bring in the fish, and then he was being a good leader and everything. But when you lay a piece of cancer on your body, eventually it's going to kill you. And that cancer was Johnny Fairplay. Johnny Fairplay is, up to this point, I don't think he's as smart or as strategic as Rob Cesternino was the season prior to him, but Johnny Fairplay he knew how to read people, and I don't think Survivor has seen a better liar than Johnny Fairplay in all 40 seasons. I really don't believe it. They have, because the way Fairplay could tell a story. I mean, the dead grandma. The story. I mean, holy crap! I mean, the thing, he had this plan set up, because it's genius, really, because everyone, whenever you hear, everyone's very uncomfortable around death, and you say, yeah, my grandmother just died, and it's going to make people go like, we gotta give this guy the reward. We gotta let him figure it out. And like the iconic moment where he's like, my grandma is watching Jerry Springer right now. I mean, just like, who thinks of that? And he's like, you have to take every advantage you can. And so, yeah, it was fun watching Johnny Fairplay really play this game. And, him and Burton are pretty much running the game. But then there's this one little player who, we would refer to as, in the really last few seasons, as the Queen of Survivor, and that's Sandra. So the thing with Sandra is, she's not a big threat. And she said it herself in the final tribal council. She's not a big threat. And, a lot what even like Burton said the episode he got voted out, it's like, all you gotta tell Sandra is who you're voting for. As long as it's not her, she's gonna go on board of it. She's not gonna make big waves or anything. As long as the vote's not Sandra, that's who she's going for. She's on board for anything. And that's kind of it was a very interesting strategy. We saw Bisepia use the strategy in Survivor Marquesas, but really, I think Sandra is 100 times more for this than anything, because, I mean, as long as it's not me, I'm okay for it. And I mean, it's a very interesting gameplay. But, she makes that move at Final 5, where she was trying to get Lil and Dara to turn on Burton and Fairplay to try to gain some control. Because yes, she was riding coattails of Rupert, and it's crazy, as vocal as she was, as loud as she was, no one voted for her the entire game. That's kind of crazy, and it's just because she was not a threat. She's probably one of the worst Survivor T players that you've ever seen play. She's not good at the challenges. Like, she's terrible. That last challenge, I think she went, 16, 17 minutes of the challenge? That was kind of crazy on her own. And, Lil takes, she makes that move to take out Burton. And, really, it's Burton's fault why Lil turned on him. Because if Burton had said, yeah, me and you, top two, even if he believed it or not believed it, she probably would have gone along with it. So Bert has no one but himself to blame of why he went home where he did. But besides that, Bert played a great game, and Fairplay played a very good game. The way he was playing, though, there was no way he could have won just because of how villainous he was being. But great Survivor villain overall. And Sandra, like I said, Sandra completely deserves this win. Her second win, we'll get to that in the next 10 or a few episodes, 13 episodes, which will be her next season, Heroes versus Villains. But the way she played the game, like, basically feeling people out and basically let people know that she was an open book. She was kind of a floater. She could have gone this way, she could have gone that way, and the way she was able to communicate people is really what makes Sandra one of the greatest Survivor winners of all time. So yeah, guys, that is this episode of the Evolution of Survivor Strategy. Love Pearl Island. Definitely one of my favorite seasons. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode because it's All-Stars. I love All-Stars. It's a show that I think is very probably underrated. Maybe I won't like it as much looking at it through 2020 eyes, but I'm looking forward to watching it. So guys, make sure you check out this podcast all the time because I keep posting episodes as the days go along. I keep watching new seasons of Survivor. It just gives me something good to watch. Also, guys, make sure you check out my main YouTube channel at Darth Easy. I have been posting my top 100 movies of all time right now. Today, when this video when it actually uploads, it will be the movies 90 through 86. So check that out today whenever y'all see on y'all's YouTube subscription. And yeah, make sure you click that like and subscribe button for all things everything. So guys, until next time, all too easy.